So we've been talking a lot in class this week about maker culture, and I've noticed kind of like a negative reaction from some of the people in the class. Most of the girls, not gonna lie, the guys seem kind of like intrigued by it and really interested in it. Maybe that's because most of us had already kind of been a part of maker culture in one form or another. But I just want to like let you guys know that there is so much more than just like computer gizmos and like blinking LEDs and things. Put your mind to it, and creator and maker culture is really cool and really expansive. And when I was growing up, as a teenager, I got heavily involved in maker culture and DIY myself, and I created some really cool things um, from it. Especially if you consider yourself a nerd like I do, or a movie buff, or any of the sort like that. Like there's so much in creator culture that you can do just out of interest in that. So I'm gonna walk you through like my progression in creator culture and the DIY ness of the field, right? Because they talk about that a lot in the blog that Jackie so kindly linked to us. This idea of like do it ourselves versus do it yourselves, and like the misnomer, because almost nothing done in creator culture is done completely by yourself. Like you're having help from friends, and it's not even academic for the most part. Like people just need other people's help in order to create the best product. So when I was 14, I got a toy for my birthday, and I'll show you. It was this. It was a lightsaber, right? I'll back up a little bit so you can get a view. It was a lightsaber, and it was mass produced. There's no DIY at all about this toy. It was produced probably in China. I can't tell that it's 10 years old. The copyright is gone. But it was made by Master Replicas. I'm guessing it was produced in China. Okay. The DIY part of this came when I decided I didn't like the fact that this blade didn't come off, and I wanted to hang it on my belt on my Halloween costume. So I did some digging and found out there was a company in Queen Creek that actually specialized in making lightsabers like this, the ones you buy in the stores with removable blades. Okay, boom, removable. Now I had a lightsaber that could hang on my belt. That was step one, right? Step two became when I decided I wanted more lightsabers, which happened, and I have a lot. I don't know, I may have got like 8. I wanted more, and the only way you could really get them at the time was either paying like $1,200 for a really fancy custom one, or going to the store and buying them for like $100. And I didn't like the fact that the blades didn't come off, so I decided I was going to figure out how to do it myself. And I did some digging, and I found a website with a community, and I found out how to make that same transformation for myself for about $20 instead of paying a guy $100 to do it. That was like the progression, right? Like, let me pay someone else to do it versus let me do it myself. And the satisfaction from doing it yourself is so much higher that it becomes almost addicting, okay? Like, you ever sewn your own clothes? Like, you made a hat for yourself and you just love that hat? And it's not because that hat's beautiful and fashionable and going to be seen in Paris, but because you did it yourself. That's why, right? And so, when I was about 17, 3 years into my interest in maker culture, I decided that I was going to start building these literally from scratch. And this is not the one I made when I was 17. The one laying on my bed back there is the one that I completed, but I'll show you guys that in a second. Okay? But this is like a really good view of what the internals of one of these things look like, right? So there's all these wires sticking out, and that's really intimidating, and things go certain places. The problem with this example is it's missing a really key component, which is the PCB that all these wires go to and things and such. But like here, there's a battery, and there's a switch right here to turn it on, and there's like a charge port to charge the lightsaber, and inside of here, because these all make sound and light up, there is, oh my god, I would show you if it would unscrew. There's a speaker in here. See that little black thing in there? There's a speaker, so it makes sounds. Yeah, there's no LED with this one because it never got to that point. Like, this is about $100 sitting here uncompleted, and if I ever get some more pocket money, which I don't have because I'm a poor graduate student right now, I will finish it. But I don't have it right now, and that's okay. Because this is something that doesn't ever go away. This can sit in my drawer, which it is right now, forever. And it'll get finished when it gets finished. And the joy of this community is, if you wait, technology gets better, like almost always, and it jumps really quickly. Okay, so this was the first one I ever actually finished. This was, I hate to say it was done by myself. I put together the electronics, put the like Lego pieced it together, because the PCB I was talking about that's missing from that one, this one has one. There's like a bunch of different models, believe it or not. When I left the community last time, when I stopped being active, there were 4 companies making what they called sound cards specifically for this hobby. Okay, so you see that green and yellow in there? That's the PCB that drives the printed circuit board, that drives all the actions that this thing can do. Okay, and I then took all the wires and all the other parts, and I had this machine that you can actually buy the machine parts now. And I decided I was gonna, and then I anodized it, which is why it's black and silver. And I put it together, and I made something my own when I was 17 years old. So like, you might have nostalgia for your first like Barbie doll or something. I don't know, like if you still had it, or your baby blanket, right? Okay, so you have nostalgia for your baby blanket, but you didn't knit your first baby blanket. So like, I have nostalgia. And I'm going to call it this for this hunk of junk, right? Because this was my first. It's 10 years old. I've had it since. If there was a fire, I'm not grabbing that. I'm going to grab this. Actually, I'm not even going to grab this. I'm going to grab one of the other ones if I had to grab one. But I would have grabbed this 100 times out of 100 times over that, because there's satisfaction in knowing that the work I put into this made something that does that. Turns on and glows and makes sounds when you hit it, and makes sounds when you wave it around. And that's really cool to me. Like, and then it goes one step further, right? So they talk about like creating things for historical accuracy so students can like interact with them. Well, this is the same kind of concept, but just on like a pop culture scale, right? So that was something I created myself, and the other ones I showed you were replicas, but they are nowhere near screen accurate. They're too wide, too narrow, too tall, too fat, too skinny, too blah, 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 blah. People nitpick the crap out of them. Well, that's where something like this comes into play, okay? So beyond the fact that this has a blade sticking out of it, which now it doesn't because I took the blade off, this is screen accurate. This is almost a one-to-one representation of what Liam Neeson held on the screen when he was playing Qui-Gon Jinn in Star Wars Episode 1. This is screen accurate, as is, this is the counterpart, this one I'm about to show you. This is the screen accurate version of what Obi-Wan Kenobi, so Ewan McGregor, was holding in Episode 1, and there's slight changes in Episode 2, but yeah, you get the point. That's sort of like, there's props for that, but like, why stop there? Like, why stop when you can make them do things like light up and make sound and all sorts of crazy stuff? And I hate this button, right? This button just despises me. Where'd that kill key go? I had a kill switch for this, and it's gone. This lights up and makes sounds and does all sorts of crazy things, and it's to the point where I'm going to get it to work even though I'm looking like an idiot right now. Because this one is the one that, through complete collaboration with, I don't know, 8 different people, this thing has since come to life in a way that's just kind of really... Oh, is it out of batteries? I'm going to kill myself if this is out of batteries. Oh my god, I think it's out of batteries. Or did my kill key die off inside of it? Oh, where'd that kill key go? That kill key will let me know if this is dead or if I'm just screwed. Oh, there it is. So if this makes sound, when I pull this in and pull it out, it's got battery.
A good apprentice, Obi-Wan. And you're a much wiser man than I am. I foresee you will become a great Jedi Knight.
So like, people tell me I shouldn't be proud of these things, but I am. Like, this is really cool, right? Like, you're watching this on video. If I just turned this on and brought it up out of screen, like, this looks like a freaking lightsaber. It reacts like a lightsaber. It sounds like a lightsaber. It does all the things a lightsaber should, you know? Makes cool sound effects. You have to do, like, stupid gestures for it. It's really a nifty thing, and that's not the only sounds it can make. Oh my god, I
You're a good
reset
apprentice,
it. I'm not gonna go through that quote again. There's 5 different banks on this. Oh, I have to go through it no matter what. There's 5 different banks on this. This can make up to 750,000 different. No, my math is way off. 7. Oh my god, 700. 7,500. Oh my god, that was so hard. 7,500 different sounds. That's really cool. So even if like the computers or the Arduinos and the Raspberry Pis and the Blink Blink, aren't your thing, like do some digging and maybe there's something out there for you, because this was for me, but there's so much else out there. Even if like Star Wars isn't your thing and you love like Princess Bride, or you love Pirates of the Caribbean, or you probably love some movie. There are props. There are ways for you to make things. Like there's such a huge culture that's out there for pop culture in this field that I really encourage you guys to not just like brush this off. It's really cool, and it offers a lot of chance to learn about not only yourself but like your culture and like what you're interested in and other cultures and other people. I'm super passionate about it, and I really hope you'll give it an opportunity instead of just like brushing it off.